Well, it's evening. I think the sun either has set or it's getting close to being set. I can see it real shiny right there. I think it's real close to being set. So, with that being said, let's do a project. So, what are we gonna do? So I've been thinking on all this metal that I got from cutting the bed off. These strips right here. So these are kind of twisted and bent from, years and years and years of being used. And then these are just, flat, what's it called? Diamond edge. And I'm thinking I've got this little thing in here. So on this table right there is a welder. I don't know anything about it. I don't know how to weld. I have welded before. Not very much. Not for very long. Don't know much about it. Anyway, so this isn't mine. This is the person that shares the shop that has all their stuff over there. Anyway, they built this table for it, and it's not proper for welding. I mean, unless you like catching things on fire, which, I don't blame you. Anyway, so I think what I'm going to do is these are going to be the legs. See, this one's all bent and twisted, and I don't want to build a frame out of that. And I've been thinking about it for a while, and these just don't look like the type of flatbed I want. I've also been kicking around the idea of putting a box on it, like a utility box. And that's kind of what I want it to be. I want it to be a real shop truck, So anyway, I'm going to cut these up, turn these into the legs, and then the flat pieces are going to be the tabletop, and there's going to be a top of the table, and then the bottom of the table, shelf. And then I also want to put a backsplash on it. Backsplash, I don't know what's called. Maybe make it kind of tall. Stack two pieces up here, so I can put pegs in it and hang all the, the stuff. Hang all this stuff on it. I think that's what I'm going to do. And so that will also allow me to fiddle around with this thing, figure out how it's done, maybe, and see if I can do this, because I need to do this. This is something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and what better way to learn than just doing it? So let's do it by building the table for it. So now I'm going to cut stuff up. I think I'm going to make the table about this height over here, because this table, for me anyway, is pretty short. That comes up to my mid-thigh. It's a problem with being tall. If I could give you any type of advice of what to be in life, one of the top 3 things would be don't be tall. It sucks. The world is built for short people. At least short to me, because everybody to me is short. So, don't be tall. It's a pain in the back, man. Anyway, I'm going to build one taller for my height. This one's kind of my height. I kind of wonder if the guy that built this barn was tall, because this is a nice little... I do have to hunch over a little bit. This is nice height. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's get to work. All right, so this thing is about perfect size for what I want. It's 4 feet this way and 2 feet, 2 3/4 inch this way, which is, I don't know why it is that one. The pieces of metal I have out there are 2 feet, and then I can just cut them 4 this way. And then I'll figure out the legs in a minute. But I'm going to cut that first. I just have this. Well, I broke it. But I'm going to put a new one on, obviously. I stepped on it. Oops. Wasted money. Anyway, I'm going to just go out there and cut it with this real quick. And then bring them in here. And we'll cut the legs in here. This is also all I have to cut this kind of stuff with. Like, I don't have a Sawzall or a, what's that thing? Bandsaw. So this is all going to be... It's going to take forever. Alright, got those pieces cut. Man, that takes forever with just that little cutting wheel. I think I'm going to wait till tomorrow. For me, it'd be a couple seconds for you. To see if I can borrow a Sawzall. I know somebody who has one. They're just not available at the moment. And then I'll get these cut down. And then we'll do some grinding. We'll do some... I'll wire wheel this, get the ugly off. And then we'll start welding. Alright, give me just a second here. Alright, so we got the Sawzall right there. That is how tall it's going to be. Alright, what are the... So a hand here, and just hold it like that. Alright. Feels weird. Oh, it's kind of warm. Alright, these are all descaled. All the sharp edges are off of them. They feel nice. You know, they won't catch clothing or anything like that. They're still ugly, which is fine. And so now the edges, the ends, didn't come out quite that nice. So I'm going to go through and grind them down square. Let me do that again. There we go. And so the plan here is just to make that line disappear. And then I'll do the edges over here. It should be fairly easy, right? I might be better at this than I thought. Alright, so since this is diamond plate, I'm going to have to grind it down so that this will fit on there. And I'm thinking, it's right there. As to the edge as possible. Okay, all that. Just no problem. I should plug this in somewhere. One more corner to go, and hopefully, maybe then I can start welding. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, I'm welding. You know, this is my first time really welding. But I want to learn how to do this, you know? I want to be able to weld. I want to be able to do body panels and build my own stuff. And so, here we go. Learning to deal with the helmet is definitely going to be something. I was looking at the wrong spot through the helmet. Alright, there's a tack. I did a tack. Oh, I f***ed up the floor. Shh, don't tell anybody. It's not my barn. Look at that, standing up by itself. Okay, so far so good. Now I'm going to try to run a bead. I think I'm going to go this way. Put this under here. There we go. I broke the tack. Let me re-tack that. Not so bad. Let me redo this one. That one's ugly. Come on. There we go. Okay. And here we go again. Yeah, it's kind of big. All right, let me try this way. This side's sparking quite a bit, and it's not as pretty. I'm kind of impressed with what I did right there. So this welder is just a wire feed welder. It doesn't have gas, but seems to be working. I think I like pushing better than pulling. I think I've heard that before too. All right, that one looks, to me, I would call that bulbous. I think I would call this one over here chunky in the wrong way. And then this one over here, it looks, oh, there's a big gap right there. I'm gonna get that gap. Oh, it's still warm. That looks like a broken roll of coins. I'm happy with it for now. Looks pretty good so far. All right, and I definitely want to overdo it and get the inside too, because this stuff is thick. All right, and oh my God, that's horrible. Don't look at that. That's bad. That's, oh my God, just don't shh. It looks like poop. Oh, that is horrible. So one thing I can tell right away is you gotta learn what you're seeing. It's hard to see through this helmet. This is also a really cheap helmet because it came with the kit with this welder. So it's like, you know, it's nothing special. It doesn't even have a brand name on it. So I'm sure if I had a better helmet, I could see better. There's a lot of slag. Like a lot. Like all this little, man, it's so hot. All this little, there's a lot. I mean, it's holding. So we're gonna go with that for now. I don't know what to think of that. I mean, you gotta start somewhere, right? You know, it's practice, it's learning. I'm definitely gonna be reading up on why it does that. Also gonna put gloves on because stuff's hot. The tack did not hold. Okay. That tack is holding. Okay. Right. Push the bead that way. Okay, that's not bad. I like that. I like how that looks. Still kind of crunchy. Okay, that's a little better. No, it's not. It's not bad. I think the outside is like easier for some reason. I don't know why. I probably have to clean up that tip, huh? I got that all goobered. I'm happy with that. I don't mind that. Why is it so bad on the inside? Okay. I'm definitely able to see it a little better. Man, there's still a lot of slag. I don't know what that's about. I think one thing I was doing is the wire was too close to the nozzle. So I'm letting it out just a little bit more. We'll see how it does on the inside. Better-ish. Oh, I definitely put a big one on that. Maybe I'm trying to go too fast. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Man, I got a long ways to go. But that's why I'm building the table, so I can, you know. Also, I'm sure if I wasn't on the floor, it'd be easier. Kind of bounced it around. Okay, we're good. Oh no, it didn't hold. Oh no, disaster. That's it, I give up. I'm never welding again. Let's try that again. Everything's getting discombobulated. Alright, that one's held. I think the hardest thing so far is to learn how to do the helmet flip. I mean, it's holding. The front doesn't look bad. I mean, it doesn't look good, but... What? Okay. Ooh, it's hot. Look at that metal. Oh, that's not pretty at all. Why are the insides so much worse than the outsides? I don't understand that at all. What am I doing wrong on the inside? I don't know. Okay. Figure it out. Okay. That one's not bad. Ha! That must be silicone. Oh, it smells horrible. You know, this is definitely gonna take some practice, but I hate practicing. You know, what does Wooten say? He hates to practice too. He just likes to play. That's how I am. I don't like to practice. I like to play. I like to weld. So I'm just gonna weld. By welding, I'm gonna learn. Instead of practicing on, you know, a bunch of scrap, because that's just, to me, that's not fun. Welding is fun. Playing is fun. Practicing isn't. And Wooten is hard to argue with, you know, as far as, oh, that's nasty. As far as learning a skill. Ooh. Oh, it's still on fire. God, that stinks. Alright, so the legs are on, and they seem to be holding. I mean, I've wobbled them a bunch. You know, I can lean into it and it lifts up the... I think it's good. I mean, I definitely probably over-welded everything. But also, it is wobbly. So you see how much that metal down there is flexing? Look at that. That is flexing. So I think what I'm going to do is I got all this fence post stuff. I'm going to cut it and brace the top between the poles. And I think that's going to stiffen it up quite a bit. I don't think, I might run something through the middle too. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how strong it is. You know, the cool thing about metal is you can always put stuff in later. But, so what's nice about this stuff is it's not all rusty and crusty and cruddy. So I should just have to, you know, all I should have to do is just cut it to length, grind the edge for a welding edge, grind the edge down there. I'm not going to worry about the things this time because it's just going to be like tack, or line, whatever they're called. And then weld them to the legs itself, and that should be good. So I'm going to start measuring, cutting, and welding on there. Alright, well, there we go. It's all prepped and ready. That is not pretty. Yeah, that is steady, sturdy. I think this side's gonna have a dip on the top. That's okay though. Yeah, I can definitely see a bow right there. I should have clamped these two sides because the ends have like gaps right there, and the middle was pretty much sitting on the metal. I should pay more attention. And with that said, I think I'm gonna go inside, shower up, get some food. Because I think what's happening is I'm getting kind of sloppy. I'm starting to rush things, not think about things. You know, and whenever you're trying to learn a new skill or hone a skill, if you feel yourself getting into that mode of just like ugh and like push and push, you know, give it a break. Walk away and do something else. Come back the next day. That's perfectly fine. What you don't want to do is burn out. You know, and I definitely don't want to burn out on this. I want to get better. I want to get good. And when you start rushing and you start feeling like, you know, I've been out here for like 7 hours, so, you know, I am definitely feeling it. So, you know, give yourself a break. Don't push yourself too hard. Anyway, it'll be a second for you. I'm gonna have a nice little evening, and I'll be back. All right. Well, I'm back. I'm fresh and renewed. I'm ready to get at it. I got this piece already cut and it's clamped. If you remember, there are some gaps in this one. Not in this one, but in this one. So I want to avoid that. So now I got it clamped and it's prepped already, and I'm ready to start putting some weld down. So let me get you set up here and we'll get it done. All right, so here we are at this point. I've been dying to see. Oh, that's warm still. Gonna have to grind the edges, you know, make this all smooth. But yeah, it doesn't look bad at all. I'm kind of enjoying this quite a bit. Dang, look at it. Look at what I did. Eh. That bent leg is going to be a problem, but you know, once I weld the shelf on the bottom, it'll poke out a little bit and it'll be fine. It's going to be fine. Also, it gives it quite a bit of character. So I turned the table up and I was checking the welds. I ground here and here in this corner just to make it smooth, and then I wire wheeled it so it doesn't have, you know, sharp edges. But so these already broke. And I think the ones on the inside broke as well. So the gap here was pretty big, and I wasn't seeing it that well, obviously because it's on the floor, bad angle and all that stuff. So there's not really, it welded here fine on this piece, but it didn't really touch this. So I am gonna, this one is fine, I think, because I made it huge. Anyway, so I'm going to cut these and then clamp it and then re-weld it. This is that side. Also, the reason why it's bent is because this piece is bent. I didn't realize that. I should have. Anyway, so let's cut those and redo them. So ugly. That's okay. Going to go through and check all these on the top, get them all done better, you know, like what I did up there. I think the lesson here is just slow down. Get at a better angle. That's for sure. I ended up changing the wire for this thing. And where's the big one? Big mess of it over there. Apparently, when you take the wire, you put the new spool of wire on, and then feed it through, and then as soon as you let go of that spool of wire, it just unwinds and makes a big mess, and then nothing works. Then you have to cut all that out, and man, it's a lot. It's a lot to be wasted. I don't like that. I don't know if I can reuse that or what. I'm sure I can figure something out. Alright, oh, there it is. Lost my measuring stick. Alright, for the shelf, I think I wanted about this tall. I've got this very precise measuring stick, and that's what, like maybe 8 inches to the bottom. So there'll be an 8-inch gap. That's fine. I'm good with that. Gives plenty of room for storage, you know. I like that. For now. I hate it later. Alright, did some playing around and decided to bend up some of this stuff into just like little triangles or whatever and weld on. And then the shelf will sit right there, and then I'll weld on top of the shelf as well. And that'll be my bottom shelf. God, this thing's gonna be heavy. I did kind of measure it. It's really not square. Alright, let's try this again. Okay, I turned the wire feed down. That may be what it needed, because now I can see penetration in the thick stuff. So I think what was going on before is I had the wire speed going up too high, and so all I could see was the molten pool from the wire from the welder, not from melding the two together, because now I can see that a lot better. I knew I was going to break that one. Yeah, dang it. Because some of these are kind of gappy, because this stuff is like all wobbly and stuff. So there's gaps, but I wasn't seeing the bottom, or you know, the sheet melt as much as the rail. So now that I kind of understand what I'm looking at, it's easier to understand what's going on. That hit my shin. I'm done with the bottom shelf. It is on. It is stuck. I tested every single one of these, and I wire brushed them off, and they're ugly. They are. Let's see. Where's the worst one? I think the worst one's actually on the other. This one's kind of bad. That one's pretty ugly. This thing's all mangled because I was beating it, out of it. And if you want to weld, get out there and weld. Just do it. If you've never welded before and you want to know how to weld, just do it. Don't worry about how it looks. Worry about how it performs. If it sticks, that's what you want. There's a lot of people that when it comes to welding, it's like this weird place where they're so, I don't know, uppity about it. And if it doesn't look right, then they just judge. But you know what? This is the first time I've ever really welded anything. That I took time to build something by cutting and welding metal together, and I'm pretty happy. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I took the time, and now I just got to do it more, and it'll get better. And if somebody says that this is ugly, that's on them. I don't care. I made it to be ugly. It's supposed to be ugly because it's my first, and I'm okay with that. Anyway, so I'm gonna level these feet a little bit because now it's these legs were tweaked anyway. I didn't care about the squareness of all. It's a table that you're gonna beat on and weld on. And so I'm gonna measure them again, grind them to where they're all the same height, maybe. Well, in the beginning of the video, I talked about I wanted to put a shield up, another sheet of this straight up right here to protect any sparks from going over, and hitting the wall right here. But this has literally taken me 4 days, maybe 5 days, I can't remember. Anyway, I need to be done with it. I have other stuff I got to go do. I have other videos I got to shoot. I've got all this stuff that's in motion right now that I need to get going. So, I'm going to clean this crazy mess up. I've never seen this shop this messy. Look at all this is just iron dust, My. Okay. So, let's get everything cleaned up. Well, there we go. It's in its spot, and that's basically the setup. I think I want to get like a little tray, or see if I can get a cabinet of drawers to put right here, or however big it's going to be. That'd be kind of cool. And then this thing right there, and yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Like I said, I just want to do a backsplash, but at a later date. And the shop looks so nice. Oh, I don't like working in a dirty shop. And this is already cluttered, way too much for me. But small space, you got to live with what you got, right? And this thing is going to be put over there, but I need to pull that stuff out and then scoot that over, put that on the shelf, and so that'll be like for that. And yeah, so feels good. So I want to thank you. I want to encourage you. If you want to do this, just do it. Go get a welder, buy, borrow, steal, whatever you got to do. Get it, Life is too short not to do the things you want to do in life. So anyway, yeah, there we go. It's all done. You know, if you like watching this kind of stuff, give a like, give a thumbs up, give a follow, give a subscription, please. Subscribing helps me so much, and the more subscribers I get, the more content I can make, whether it's good or bad. Hopefully it's good, you know. Sometimes it's bad. But thank you, and have a good rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Look at that little face. Oh, yeah, you want more head scratches. More head scratches. Oh, what a sweetie. Oh, you don't like the nose touches, huh? Yeah, okay.